you. So speaking of health and speaking of menopause and hot flashes and all that stuff, so for the last 2 decades, every decade, I probably am 10 pounds heavier. And the tapes in my head was that I am supposed to be, because you hear people say it's either face or butt, right? Your butt's going to get big. If you don't want your butt to get big, your face is going to be wrinkly, right? Yeah, that fat is going to go somewhere, right? It's face or ass, but okay, face or butt. Okay. So so, and then I had this stomach. I mean, and this pouch, which I've never had.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, that's a sign of menopause. And everybody kept saying that's a sign of menopause. So Matthew started working with a trainer, and I was like, okay, I'll go, and that way I can support you. We talked about support. I'll support you while you're doing this for this period of time. And so she said, what's your goal? I said, okay, my goal is to get rid of this stomach. Like I'm giving her a goal that really she cannot help me accomplish. And she said, okay, that's diet. I'm like, really? And I was incredulous. And so we started this meal plan. I have 4 meals a day, two snacks, well, a snack and an oatmeal. And my stomach went away. It started going away after 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, it was diet. And I'm
Mhm.
very but I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Oh, that's good.
But
Yeah.
right. But I think we
Yeah.
tell ourselves these things because maybe we don't feel like doing the workout or the diet, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
to get I know, and I completely that whole stomach thing. I've always had, except for I got both the big butt and the wrinkles, but but
Why
I
say
never.
or when you can say and?
I've got and, but it's funny. I always had big hips, and but I didn't have a stomach either. And then this started, and I have yo-yoed back and forth my whole
Mhm.
life. Like I'd go on something and I would lose a lot of weight, but now it's like I'm bigger than I've ever been, and it drives me crazy. But and I know the diet is why that stomach is
Right.
there. I
Mhm.
know it, and I've just got to get it in my head that it's like, okay, come on, do this, But and I love to exercise. Colleen knows that. Like I play
We
tennis
both
all the
got the
time.
mirror for,
We
I
got
got
the
the mirror for
mirror.
Christmas, the workout mirror.
Oh my
Yeah,
And
gosh,
that
yes.
I love it.
yeah.
Love
And
it.
she got it, and
Wow.
she said she hates to exercise, and so I was like,
Well, I
well,
don't
she
hate, I was a
hates to
Pilates
exercise.
instructor. I don't
She
hate to
was.
exercise,
You
but
did, but you didn't like it like I did. And when I said, "Well, Colleen's liking this mirror, I'm going to have to get this mirror
I
too."
like being able to be in my pajamas without anybody else in a group and just do my class. Like,
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. But I
yeah.
think but I think that I don't think we're eating enough protein. And that was
right.
that
Hmm.
was the thing that I learned with this health coach, and that I mean, I'm not doing it on the regular now, but just creating these habits. But if I ate the cookies, I'm like, okay, it's not replacing a meal. I'm still going to have the protein. And I think that's where we go wrong. We're not
Hmm.
hungry. Like my mother are like, well, I'm not hungry now. I'm like, you just ate a biscuit, but you still have to eat, your chicken or your fish, your protein.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but that just really worked for me. And I'm like, okay, I can't do replacement meals. I just have to do and push myself to eat the thing that I want to eat. And I eat carbs and all that stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
Right.
I feel like if you deny yourself of something, you just feel. This is what I would do if I denied myself. Then I would binge when I went off the
Oh,
Yeah.
wagon. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Face plant right into the cookies. Face plant
Oh,
right in
absolutely,
it.
100%.
absolutely. Yeah,
Right? We're
yeah.
Exactly.
just strong women, contrary. You cannot,
Yeah.
don't tell me not to do something. I will
Right.
actually want to do it.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah.
On the topic of the, since we're talking menopause at this topic, how was your experience with perimenopause and menopause?
So I didn't get the hot flashes. My sister got really bad hot flashes. I would get a hot flash like once every couple of weeks. You know, where I'm affected is sleep. So I wake up,
Right.
so having a really good night's sleep, foggy brain, but I don't know if that came from sugar or what, but okay, foggy brain. I'm going to blame menopause. Um and muscle tone. So yeah. Yeah. And then,
Those are
okay,
your,
the hairy chin, is it?
Oh
oh
yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
hair in places that hair should not be.
It's like,
Right.
Yeah.
what happened?
Okay. Let me ask you all this because you've spoken to so many people about it. Okay. Are we becoming men? So are we losing estrogen and gaining hair? And so what's happening? What is the universe telling us? Are we becoming men? What's up with the mustache and the beard?
Yeah, well, we're really not getting testosterone because that seems to be at zero. It tends to be when
Right.
But
you're
when you're going down, when you still have some testosterone and your estrogen tanks, then the testosterone can be a little more dominant.
Hmm.
And hello, chin hair and, hair in
and
places.
and lip hair and
Mustache,
Lip hair.
everything.
little
Yes.
mustache.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, it's the way the estrogen, the progesterone, and the testosterone just kind of go in waves up and down.
Yeah.
That all these strange, for me, anxiety was just spiked. I mean, we learned a lot from this podcast about the mental health issues that come with menopause that women don't know and they don't talk about: depression, anxiety, all those things that kind of get exacerbated or appear for the first time.
Yes.
So we love getting out and sharing the information that maybe women were like, I had no idea that that was normal, but that was a part of my perimenopause journey, because
Well,
it
it's funny
is.
that you say that. It's so funny that you say that because I used to be fearless in the car. And when and I wasn't driving as much in New York, so I didn't really notice it. But when I would come back home to DC, I would be so nervous in the car. And Matthew would look at me like, what is wrong with you? Why can't you drive anymore? And I'm like, I don't know. And as you're saying this, because there was this fear of
Mm-hmm.
like having an accident or having control of the car.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Just things that, yeah, like you said, that never occurred to you or never happened before. And
Hmm.
I would get this like over something so silly, get so mad about something. Like I would look at
The mood
the
swings.
counter. Yeah, the mood swings. Oh, my mood. I'd look at the kitchen counter, and if somebody hadn't thrown something away, or how hard is that to put that dish in the dishwasher? Why are you leaving that? I
Mhm.
would like it would, I could feel it coming out of my head, like all
Right.
the stuff. And I think, and that is, I never felt that until menopause. So, or till perimenopause. It just, these are
Right,
all these
because
different things. Hmm.
one of the interesting things that we have learned and tried to educate women on is that menopause is actually the one day of
Hmm.
12 months of no cycle. Everything before that is perimenopause, and everything after is post.
Right.
Menopause
Hmm.
is only one day of, it's an anniversary. It's a
It's the
celebration. So
one
get those
year.
cookies out.
Get that mac and cheese. It's the 1 year since your last day of your cycle. Yes.
So everything before that is perimenopause, and that can last 8 to 10 years.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, it's not an excuse to eat the cookies for 8 to 10 years, but when you have the mood swings, the memory loss, the hot flashes, the night sweats, the lack of sleep, all of those factors are in perimenopause. And women just don't a lot of women, number one, are afraid to ask their doctors, which is
Right.
amazing,
Hmm.
or the doctor is not caught up on the most recent research.
See, I think that is probably it more than anything. So going
Hmm.
to a doctor who understands menopause. So I was fortunate enough to, and I'm acting like everything is new because when I hear something, I'm like, I have to hear it again. But and I had to hear like 10 times. So I went to a doctor who specialized in menopause. And so she gave me this sheet of all of these different symptoms. And I'm looking at them like, that's menopause? Wait, perimenopause. I mean, so let's speak the correct language, perimenopause, so that we are aware. But if you don't have a doctor who understands it, they will misconstrue like some of your symptoms for something
Mhm.
else and you don't feel as supported and then you don't want to talk about it. And why do we hear so much about penises?
Mhm.
Yes.
But you
Right?
don't
All
hear
kinds of
about
medication
vaginas.
for that.
Oh my
Yeah. Yeah.
gosh. We hear so much about penises that we don't
Uh-huh.
hear about the vajayjay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And and that is the thing that I feel is missing even in ads
Yes.
and everything,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Oh, we have
100%.
we have been like trying to
We
push.
scream
We
from the
found some
rooftops.
products. Yeah, we do. We've actually met with some PR people. They're out of California, and they're two women, and they specialize in women over 50. That's what they're looking for, is things that will help women over 50. And it's hard to find. You don't see that on TV. Like you see all the ED, ads constantly. But yes, yes. But you don't see this, on TV.
And what's interesting is one of the experts that we talked to is Dr. Sherry Ross, and she's an OBGYN in LA. And she has a show on Ellen Tube called Lady Parts. And it's hosted by Sarah Hyland. So she's younger. And Dr. Sherry is the expert on the show. But they talk about vaginas, they talk about vulvas, they talk about, how to take care of them from a younger age. And I think that's so important because they're watching us, learning from us, but the younger generation needs to understand what's going to happen to them too.
100%.
So we love that there are people getting out there and speaking about it, but you're right. It's not, menopause is a huge market out there, and it's not talked about. And for some reason, when you mention it to your girlfriends, they're like, oh no, you're old, I'm out of here. And there's the connotation that you're old, that it's not a natural process of life. And
that they're going to catch it or something.
Right. It's like contagious.
You are going to catch it.
You are going to catch it.
Blanche, but you are.
Right. So anybody who wants to spread the word, we're thrilled to talk about it because it's just a natural part of life. And we just, we've had some companies that we talk to who have had trouble marketing because they can't use the term menopause. They actually,
even the Menopause Foundation, this is a new foundation. I think it's only like 3 to 5 years old. How is that possible?
I know.
Right?
I mean, I didn't even know what perimenopause was when I was going through it. I'd never heard the word until I was going through it. And I think I've said this before. I'm from a really large family. One of my older sisters was going through it first. And I thought, oh, she's just trying to get attention, turning that furnace down. And what is she doing? And boy, it got me. It got me good. I deserved every bit of that for making fun of her. But it is amazing that, and this isn't that, I'm 53. So this isn't that long, 10 years ago. It was like, oh, that's called perimenopause? Never heard of it.
Hey, Peri.
So it is.
Yeah, Peri, is it?
Yeah, Peri. The new man in my life, go away. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it never goes. I'm still in Peri. Peri and I are still friends of 53. So I'm like, Peri, you can leave now. I don't want to be friends anymore.
Deuces, Peri. Oh wait, well let's talk about this. The other thing that we go through is our skin changing.
Oh yes.
And like really dry, the texture of our skin. And I'm fortunate enough in the last year, I have a friend she started this skincare line, and it's called Care Beauty with an I, but it's specific for not only women in perimenopause, but also women who, with cancer, because it treats your skin. And it has been a lifesaver.
Wow.
Just the serum. I'm like, what? And I literally on my neck. I mean, one day I was saying to her, and I didn't even know she was doing this product. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening to my neck? Like, whose lizard has what is happening? Like my skin was just, I'm like, what is that? And she said, oh, I have something for that. I'm like, what? So, I mean, our skin changing. And I think if more people talked about it, if more people talked about it, men would understand, because men don't understand how our bodies are changing, and even during sex, how our bodies change, and we're not the same. This doesn't mean that I'm not into you, that my body is not responding to you, that I'm out having an affair because my body isn't responding to you. Peri has stepped in.
Yes.
Peri has stepped in.
Right?
Yes.
If I'm having affairs with Peri.
Right.
Yes. And I don't want
true.
to, but it has just happened. Yeah.
It's funny when we get contacted by listeners who are like, why is it the way my husband chews all of a sudden is driving me crazy? Or the way he snores, it never bothered me. It's like
it is.
The alien takes over your body, and you want to say to your husband, it's not me, it's Peri.
It's just
my evil twin
the hormones going all crazy and dropping and spiking, and everything like that. It really
Mhm.
affects your libido. And then also, I mean, dryness, vaginal dryness, and that is a big issue too. And you're like, okay,
Yeah,
we need
we touch on
here,
all
let's
that.
have a little class right here. Come your husband
Yes.
and hold puppets. I don't care what you use, but just
Yes.
say, this is what's happening. So it is, we're really fortunate that we found people like Dr. Sherry and different products, but we want to get the
Right.
word out to people that these
Well,
are
that's what it is.
available.
We want women to know that they exist,
Hmm.
because a
Mhm.
Hmm.
lot of the products that we have discovered and have showcased on the show are from women over 50 who are like, if you
Mhm.
can't answer the question, I'll start a makeup line. I'll start a skincare line. I'll start a, pH balance product for itchy
Hmm. Yeah,
skin
get
in the
some money.
private
Yes.
places,
Yes.
If
Yes.
you can't solve the problem, men, then I will.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And that's what's been hard too. We have a another woman we spoke with that started a skincare line as well. And like Colleen said, she was going to have a meeting with QVC or Home
She
Shopping,
was
one of those,
basically a contract with them.
ready to roll. And they said, "Oh, her product has the word pause, like for menopause, in it." They were like, "No, we can't have you on. That's a medical
You can't
condition."
use the term menopause.
They
She's
said
like,
it's a medical condition. And she's like, it's a thing that if you're lucky enough to live that long, you're going to go through it. If you're a woman, you're going to go
Right.
through it. So
Right.
it's
it was
just,
it was just amazing, the things that she had to go through to get this off the ground. And, I say it all the time, and I'm not trying to man bash because I love my husband. I have a son. I love men, but we just
but
know, we just know that it wouldn't have been as hard if a man wanted to get a product through, and when a
100%.
woman had to work twice as hard to get a product through.
Yeah.
So that's the thing we want to do, is just get that out there and get more women to hear about it and get some help for everybody, because
right.
yeah, we've been through it.
So, I mean, I am the first month well, I was doing hormone replacement because I had a
Hmm.
Okay.
doctor who believed in it. And because most doctors are like, no, the heart attack and the vitamin D, blah, 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 right? Which was based on one study, which is
Hmm.
why we don't hear
Yeah.
a lot
Right.
about hormone replacement.
Hmm.
So I started doing the progesterone insert or the pellet.
Hmm. Oh, I did that too. Hmm.
Yes. Yeah. You just grab your butt like that's where it
I
is, like
did
your
right
hip.
here. It's in the hip right here.
Okay,
Like
you guys right
everybody in the
here.
world can
And I'm
see.
like,
It's right there.
right, it's right here. So this is my first time doing that, and I didn't really understand the progesterone and the testosterone and the estrogen balance. So, so this is I'm probably coming into my fourth week, so the jury is still out, but so we'll see. But I think it's helped working out a little easier. I'm leveling it out. When I first started taking it, I had more brain fog than ever. I'm like, oh my god, I thought this was supposed to take this away, and it was like crazy. Like
Mhm.
and granted, I was doing a lot of other things at the time, but I was like, this is not helping me. But I think it's sort of leveling out now.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think I just got my pellets like sometime in January, and mine are. I don't have progesterone. I'm still taking progesterone orally,
Yeah, me
but
too.
yeah, but it's I have estrogen and testosterone. And when they said, what I'm reading the little stuff, and they're like, and testosterone could help with lean muscle mass, and I'm like, yes, like I am signing that right now. But
Yes.
I had to sign a waiver because they said testosterone was a controlled substance. And
Mm.
I had to sign like a driver's license, like waiver, that I had this testosterone in me. And I was really shocked because I'd added the cream
Wait, are
testosterone.
we juicing?
I mean, I was like, what's going on? Why am I signing this about? But yeah, she's like, yeah, we need a
That's
copy of your driver's license. It's a controlled substance. And I'm like, it's implanted in me, you know?
Oh wow.
Yeah. And that was in Nashville. I had it done in
maybe
Nashville.
that's a
And I was
Tennessee
like,
thing.
I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know, how that, maybe it was a Tennessee thing. Who knows? But I was like, okay. But Colleen was with me once. We were taping a podcast, and I had the testosterone cream, and they could never get it leveled. And
Right.
one time I got a phone call saying, we just got your blood work in. Are you growing lots of facial hair? Are you like, they were asking because my levels for testosterone were super high. And I was like,
Right.
well, no, not anything more than it ever was.
Yeah.
I was going, what? She was sitting across from me and the doctor's asking me all these questions. And they said, your test, you just need to stop right now. Don't take that cream right now. And then they were like, well, take it again. And they just could never get it level. And they said, some people, the cream just doesn't work on them. So we're doing we got the pellets now, and it's going to be there for a while. So
Oh, yeah. And then I'm
yeah.
doing the estrogen patch. So I'm
Oh,
doing the
okay.
patch. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
just can't take a lot of pills. I'm not, I, one more pill. So I said to
Yeah.
the doctor, I just one more. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. It's like you get on a plane and you're trying to fill those little capsules up and they're just stuffed,
Yeah. I have,
Yeah.
this is, so
Yeah.
this
Oh
is our little
gosh.
pill cup.
Yeah.
All my
It's like,
vitamins and stuff.
yeah, if you try to fit any more in, it's not fitting.
Right,
You
right,
got to get
right.
flagged at the airport.
The older we get, the more pills go into
Oh,
our
I
little
know.
pill
I know.
case.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But it's so